Okay, now preparing some parts. I'm making this small sliver here out of ply since they're so little. This is just the glue up for the tapered piece, which is going to be filling this entire gap here between the two longerons. I pre-glued the plywood for the tailplane mounting block and made the angle. Next, the piece of ply there, super tapered. Now I can mark the piece of wood I pre-glued for filling this guy. This guy's cut 8 degree. Right, so I'll be gluing these two together, then them inside. This shows again, as per my other videos, why I pre-glue the end grain first and then come back later. This is 20 minutes after, and we can see that 25% of the surface is completely dry already. Right, the second batch is done, so the in-betweens, the cross race, and then another batch for the tail. I'm just flush cutting this guy out. Okay, now I just wanted to point out the procedure I used. So I started by closing the tail post, of course with these guys in place to make everything straight, and then putting the center between my two fixed points. And then I waited at least 24 hours, make sure that this was set, not to disturb it, because this is not very strong, just a butt joint on end grain. So once this was really well set, the 24 hours, then I installed this guy and this guy and the forward bolting area for the H stab, of course with the corresponding lower one also. Now I'll be installing the diagonals and the plywoods as soon as possible, because the way I see it, it's not very strong until the plywoods are in place. And there is still pressure in this system, because this still wants to get back to its original position. So I think just the name of the game is to go slowly and do one operation at a time. Wow, this is pretty exciting. It's the first time I stick the tail on the fuse. Looks good to me.